Deltarune is a game that has things. Some things are generally regarded as good. That makes them good in the popular opinion. And if somebody says that thing is actually bad, then that makes their opinion an unpopular opinion. The same thing also applies if most people think that something is bad but you actually think that it's good, or if most people believe a theory is incorrect but you actually believe that it is correct. You get the point. And today we're gonna discuss unpopular Deltarune opinions, both from me and my audience. Is that long enough of an intro? I keep hearing that they are too short. Anyways, before we begin, I just want to remind people that do not get mad at people for having opinions. Okay, now let's begin. Unpopular opinion number 1. Some, not all of them, but some of the environments in this game have art direction so fucking ugly that it hurts to look at. I am not gonna go too in-depth into it because I am planning on making a tier list video ranking every single environment in Deltarune. But some of these environments are just not good looking at all, and I feel like that is one of the main reasons why chapter 1 is way worse than chapter 2. Like take for example the feel of hopes and dreams. The color palette here clashes so hard, and the overall atmosphere here feels less like a magical adventure and more like something that I just want to escape from as fast as possible. Like, would you guys still be watching if my videos looked like this? I mean, you probably would, because I am the greatest Deltarune YouTuber ever, but you get the point. In general, I just kind of feel like the art direction for the environments in this game, both chapter 1 and chapter 2, are incredibly under-discussed. But again, more on that in a future video, which by the way, I am now trademarking the idea of making a tier list of all the Deltarune environments. I'm talking to you, Yaru. I myself used to have an idea of making a tier list on all the Deltarune characters based on their character design. But before I could make it, you just had to take my exact idea and make a 12-hour video of it. So please, Yaru, if you have the same ideas I have, wait until I've made it, okay? I don't wanna see you drop a 3-day long video that is my exact idea, which means that when I make my video, I'm gonna look like the copycat, even though I came up with the idea myself. Got it? Thanks. Unpopular opinion number 2. Insanity was peak. There, I said it. Okay, a bit of context for those who don't know. So around September of last year, Toby Fox released a newsletter about Deltarune that made the community realize that the game is taking a lot longer than they thought it would. And also, there was absolutely nothing left to discuss about the game. So, thanks to the inspiration of the Batman Arkham community, the Deltarune community decided to start an insanity trend. And that's how we got iconic memes like the Bing and Chris, I remember your snow graves. But after a while, the insanity thing became very hated, and many people say that it is the reason that the Deltarune community sucks now. But I disagree. The Deltarune community has always sucked, except for when it was insane. Not only does laughing at pictures with improper grammar and glowing text never get old, but also, without insanity, we got nothing. Would you rather spend your time laughing while both making and looking at memes while also pretending to become some crazy lunatic? Or would you just like to discuss if monsters in Deltarune bleed, or if Chris's gender is non-binary, up for interpretation for the 400th time until a new Deltarune chapter releases? I know what I would pick. Unpopular opinion number 3. Okay, now I'm gonna discuss shipping, and I really have to make this clear. Do not get mad at me for having an opinion, okay? I know I already said that in the intro, but I have to clarify it here, because for whatever reason, shipping discussions in this community tends to be one of the most toxic things ever. I will talk negatively about a ship that you may actually love. And if you click on a video about unpopular Deltarune opinions and you get mad because you see an unpopular Deltarune opinion, then please grow the fuck up. You can still ship your favorite ship if you want, I just don't like the ship, that's all. But me personally, I kind of hate it when a media's main romance is just our male lead really needs a random love interest. But with who? Oh, I know. The only major female character. We can't just let her be friends with the main character after all, are you crazy? All the trope adds is one of the most generic and safe predictable plot lines ever. It's probably my least favorite trope ever, and any piece of media that does it gets a negative point from me. Unless it's done like really well, in which case it's fine. But I really appreciate it when something doesn't do the trope, even if it would be really easy to make it happen. Like there is one piece of media that I will not spoil where it could have easily been written so that the male protagonist falls in love with his best female friend, but instead it's the male best friend that falls in love with the female best friend of the main character, which means that the trope was successfully averted, and instead the main character fell in love with his best friend's sister, which felt like a way more refreshing romance. But apparently the main character should have gone with the female best friend, and I'm like, dude, guys, We just dodged one of the most annoying tropes in media. Be happy! Enough yappy, I think that you guys can see on Goaties. Cruisy sucks, and I am so happy that there are no signs pointing towards it being canon so far. I suppose that it is a bit different because Chris is non-binary and not male, but Chris and Susie's relationship as friends work perfect, okay? And Susie already got a romance with Noel. There's no need to make a romance between Susie and Chris. Same goes for pretty much any ship in this game that are just two best friends. Like take for example Cathy x Jockington. Why can't they just be friends? But again guys, nothing wrong with shipping them yourself. You can continue shipping them as much as you want and I won't be mad as long as you are fine with me not liking the ship, okay? Could you guys tell that I'm frustrated by shipping discussions in this community yet? Unpopular opinion number 4. The original Star Walker is ass! Okay, he isn't annoying or anything, but he's just nothing! When I first heard about him and watched a video containing all of his dialogue, my genuine reaction was just... okay. Just a somewhat interesting secret NPC that isn't really funny or anything, but that was all. Little did I know that he was a fan favorite! Like take for example the Galaxy character bracket where the original Star Walker faced off against Noel Holiday. And yeah, she obviously won because she's an incredibly major character that is both funny and an excellent addition to the Snowgrave route. But with only 60%! Not only did 40% of people think that the original Star Walker is actual competition, but also straight up better than Noel Holiday. Why? He's just some random guy. Why does some random NPC get so much love? The only other NPC with this much fame is Newbert, but I can excuse that because first of all, he's actually funny. Second of all, Newbert's joke is that everybody sees him as the best thing ever. Therefore, it makes sense that the community would also see him as the best thing ever. But the original Star Walker has no such joke. He doesn't have any jokes at all except for his kind of goofy character design, yet somehow he made his way into the fucking sub-panel. He got priority over fucking Lancer. What makes him a more important character than Lancer? Lancer is funnier, he has more importance to the story, he has more interactions with other characters, he has his own battles, he has his own themes. Whenever people try to find reasons to see him as a major character, they often mention how he has been to both Dark Worlds, but first of all, why did he of all NPCs deserve to return? And second of all, so does Lancer. So name a single reason for why he wouldn't be in the sub-banner instead of the original Star Walker. Why? Why? Oh, okay, that's why. But seriously, if the community wanted to pick a random NPC to be the funniest character ever, could they at least have picked someone actually funny like C-Round and not him? Anyways, let's talk about your unpopular opinions that you guys submitted in a community post. I would prefer if the Roaring Knight is a completely separate character, not a pre-existing one. I'd say yes, mainly because there aren't that many interesting candidates so far. Like, I find Papyrus Knight interesting, but that's an Undertale character and I don't really think that an Undertale character should have focus in Deltarune, especially as much focus as the fucking Knight. Chris Knight does sound interesting, but I don't know, I just don't want it to be true. The only other character that I think would be interesting is Gaster, which I actually think would be very interesting. Very, very interesting. But once he's introduced, he would practically be a new character, so he doesn't count. Your choices do matter. Think of Undertale and Flowey. What did he told us? In this world, it's kill or be killed. But we proved him wrong in the pacifist ending. So why should it be the same go to Deltarune? Because doing the exact same thing twice would make the second time less engaging and more predictable. You know, I think Rolls is heavily overrated. Rolls is overrated. Rolls is overrated as fuck. Rolls is better than Saroba. If something is called overrated so many times, does it not become underrated? Anyways, I kind of agree. I do think that he's a great character, but some people are really exaggerating of how much of a great character he is. Sully the Lightner is a good YouTuber. Sorry if that take is too unpopular. I agree he is good, but there are like plenty of much better Deltarune YouTubers. Sully x Evil Sully sucks. I disagree.
Star Walker is the best fucking character in all of Deltarune. If you don't include this, you are pissing me off. I'm the original free name's name.
Fuck you, I'm not even gonna use my stupid avatar anymore. I'm gonna tell you that your opinion sucks in live action, bitch. Jockington and Cathy, best ship? No. Hot take. All Deltarune theorists are nerds. Scarlet Forest is mid. Agreed. Lancer and Susie are best ship. Even if Lancer might that slim chance that Lancer might actually be as old as Susie. I once saw a video trying to debunk Lancer being young and it did an okay job. So like even if it turns out that Lancer and Susie are the same age, it's still such a bad ship. You guys know about that thing I said about Chris and Susie's dynamic working perfectly fine as friends? And that like making a ship out of them would be kind of pointless? Yeah, that applies to Lancer and Susie tenfold. Fuck that stupid ass. Chris and Burley are fine.
Rule's card isn't funny, and he's the one Toby Fox joke type I think is annoying. Rules is underrated.
I'd say that he works so far because that thing about being ass at making puzzles isn't his only joke. He also has that weird accent thing, which I think is kind of funny. However, I feel like in future chapters there needs to be some more innovation, or else he will become a character that just peaked in the beginning but after a while became very repetitive. A cyber's world is quite overrated, no it isn't. Deltarune should not be connected to Undertale, or should be connected as little as possible. Yeah, I agree, I think that Deltarune should be its own thing separate from Undertale. Although theories like Sans Deltarune and Sans Undertale being the same person do have a lot of evidence, like way too much evidence for it, I still hope that it isn't true. Especially that thing about Icy not being a thing in Undertale. It would make the whole world feel a lot smaller. By having the mascot be referenced once but we never actually see the mascot, it makes the whole world feel a lot larger by implying that we didn't see everything on our path. But if Icy isn't real, what did we miss? Grey houses? It's insane, all of the community went completely insane just because there's no chapter 3 for just 2 years. Like, come on guys, be more patient. It's literally Toby's dream game. He wants it to be a good and polished game. Why? Literally why? Does that last part matter? Why does any part matter? It took 2 years for us to get insane? Yep, what's so insane about that? Because other games have lasted longer without going insane. See, that hard no shit that they have lasted longer. Those games are probably longer than our games. We don't even have a game. All we have is a demo, a very short demo that most people will probably finish in just a fucking day. And after that, there's barely any replay value. And yeah, we could talk about it for a year or two, but guess what? It has gone a year or two and now there's nothing left to talk about. And that thing about having nothing left to talk about, that's barely an opinion, that's mere fact. When was the last time you heard something new about this game? This very video that you're watching are just opinions that I have talked about for months, just now brought into video form. The newest opinions here are the ones about Insanity, so I guess that we have new things to discuss about, all thanks to Insanity. And what do you mean that this is Toby's dream game? We know that. Why does that matter? It's not like we are rushing him. Actually, I have seen people accuse us of rushing him. I'm like, what? Nobody here is rushing Toby. Oh, you're talking about those memes where like, oh my god, Toby got to release a new chapter now, we are going insane. I hate to break it to you, but that's like, those are like jokes. Like they are not serious. We are not actually. Nobody here is rushing Toby. I'm so fucking done with you guys. Anyways, actual theory. Sansisness.